Hi. Di here. Just got myself a little collection of paints. I have just gessoed a piece of watercolor paper black so I can give comparisons to the paints that I'm going to use. So I have got the interference paints I was talking about earlier. So they are golden interference, red fine, green orange. I'm going to put them on both so you can see the difference that they make. I have got the Twinkling H2os, which is a solid watercolor pan that you just add water to, and they are so creamy. They have mica flakes in them, so they're a sparkly one. I am going to show you Perfect Pearls and the Pearlex powders, and the differences, very few differences in these ones. So, and the other pigment powder are these colour shimmer dusts. Now these are amazing. Just don't sneeze when you've got one open. Ask me how later, how I know that. So these ones sprinkle on one colour, and when you hit them with water, magic happens. But we'll show you that in a moment. I have also got the Precious Metal Colours, the Viva brand, to show you, and I've also got the Lumiere colour shift paints. So, and I'll show you those ones on the black and the white, and that should fill in a little bit of time. So let's have a look. I think this is dry. I call this my snake bite at work. Got my hand jammed in between two boxes. We have a decided paper shortage in Australia of paper towel. You can't buy it anywhere in my area at the moment. All the shelves are empty, so we're resorting to napkins, which will probably go scarce as well. At least we can buy toilet paper now. Okay, what first? Let's try these golden interference paints. Let's get a small. So this is my watercolor dish. So what you do, this is a makeup Q-tips and cotton ball dish that you have in the bathroom, and you fill both chambers with water. So you wash your brush out in the outer chamber, and then you always have clean water left to dip your brush in so you don't get your colours mixed. So $3 at Kmart, I think. Alrighty, so let's have a look at this. I haven't played with these for such a long time, but let's have a look what they do. On the paper. Got a little bit too much on there. Let's pop it back in. I'll do some other colours and then I'll dry it off, and we'll have a look. So this one's a green orange. This is interference red. Probably should do it the same way. Grab a pencil. It's eye red, eye green, orange. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? I might just leave some of that lumpy to see how it actually washes out. So this is iridescent blue fine. And as you see, a little bit goes a long way. Oh, that's pretty. Wow. Never used the blue before. I use the green quite often. So you can see how the colour changes. I will mix some with some paint in a second and see how that works. Let me just get some paint out of my drawer. Let's go. Let's go. Phthalo Green. It's a new Phthalo Green. And I don't know what colour to mix it with. Let's mix it with green, blue, blue. Let's mix it with violet, see what we get. I didn't shake that. Let's try that again. Let's see. So you get a little bit of the purple violet showing through. Let's try a different colour. Let's try a paler colour. Oh my goodness, get out of there. Okay, let's have a look at just an olive green. With that red. If this works nicely, this is going to make great leaves. Let's see, getting any colour play with that red. Not really, a little bit. So I think they're better off on their own rather than mixed with a paint, but that could be just my colour choices. I don't have many of my acrylic paints up here at the moment, they're all under the bus, lost with my gel plate. Okay, that's pretty cool. Anyway, loving the effect on the black that these interference colours have. Let's get rid of that palette before I stick my elbow in it. Alright, so let's have a look at the Lumiere Paint. So this is a thicker paint that has, no, this one's just gone thick. I think it's never usually that. So this has a pearlescent colour. It also has a colour shift in it, but this one seems to have dried out a bit. Well, that wasn't a very successful experiment, was it? Let me see if I can find one that's actually not dried out. So this one is Halo Violet Gold, and it's not been opened. So it's, yeah, not quite as thick as that last one. So this has the violet and the gold colour play, which is very cool. So the gold doesn't show up as much on the white as it does on the black. And this one is metallic rust. I use this one quite a bit. I mean quite a bit. This is my third bottle in a year, I think. So this is a brown gold. It has orange undertones, hence the rust name. Just see if we can get... It's really, really warm here today, so these paints are going to dry very quickly. Okay, so that's the Lumiere Paint. It is Lumiere. Okay, chuck these back in the drawer. With those, we have got the precious metals. I don't have much of this left because I use it quite a bit, so I've only got 4 colours left. Molly, not taking any notice of my roadblocks I just left for her, so she doesn't walk on my wet paint that I've got on the floor drying. Probably should have done another black. Okay, so you can see how the metal has the metallics has mixed through now. So these have mica dust, fine mica dust mixed through them, which gives them their sparkle. So at the moment I have got 3 journals on the go, and my craft space, which as you know is very, very small, is very, very, very much smaller. I've got crap everywhere, but that's when I'm at my most industrious, when I've got crap everywhere. So these have a mica shimmer, the Lumieres have a mica shimmer, the iridescence interference green, the golden interference have the colour shift in them. So there was one, where is that? So I've got the interference gold fine, and I've got the iridescent gold fine. So you can see by the colour swatches over the top, they're both transparent, which that does not make sense because this one can be non-transparent, opaque. So the golds have a red background, which you can see in these clear bottles. The red sparkles in there, which gives it their iridescence when it's mixed with the gold. And the more red, the deeper the gold. I have on a drawer here, I have the deep iridescent deep gold as well. So this is more yellow than that one, so it has more pigment, more red pigment in it. My favourite ever golds and coppers are these golden ones. Nothing compares. Nothing that I've found so far compares. Not that there's not other good paints on the market. Okay, so I think I'm done with the iridescence for now. If you have any questions, just write it underneath the post when I post it. So my next one is, let's show you these Twinkling H2os. So they're a solid watercolor pan, and they have mica in them, and they are the most amazing creamy paints for watercolors. They are amazing. Got to give them a good mix because of the mica in them. The mica tends to hold all the pigments together, so give them a really, really good mix with the water. Look at that shimmer, look at that creaminess. It's that not amazing? You can get such a colour play out of one colour in these H2os. These are my favourite ever for a metallic watercolour pen. You can get them in little packs, and the packs have they come in these little tubs like this, and they come in a pack of 6, I think, and they have probably 2 in the purple family, 2 in the blue family, 2 in the green family, whatever, but they're good packs to get. And the colours are amazing. I think I could even get Fran and Mo to actually like pink if they had these Twinkling H2os. Look at those. Just look at them. Anyway, there's probably about 60 colours, I think. There could be even more because it's been 5 years since I bought them. And whatever you don't use, you just put the lid back on with the water in it, and the water will just dry up and soak into the paint anyway, so it's very cool. They are just beautiful. Now let's get something really bright. I should do one of those pinks. I'll do one of these pinks just because. If you're going to use watercolor paints, with the leaves that I made, where are they? These leaves that I made. So I do a whole sheet of this watercolor paper, and I just lay down loads and loads of different colors, oranges and greens, and then I go over it with brain dead at the moment, walnut ink. Spray it with that, spray it with some glimmer mist, and just keep layering the watercolors. Get yourself a decent watercolor brush, because they just hold so much more paint on the brush than normal everyday acrylic paint brushes. So you don't have to keep going back in all the time. You can, out of one loaded brush, you can get so much painting done. So yeah, invest in it. A really good one, like a really good one, can cost as little as $5 and upwards of $40, you know, so depend on your budget. But the watercolor brushes are round, thick, not flat, so they are usually tapered to a point, so that when you dip it in the water, it holds a lot of paint in the bristles. So that's just a tip, just because. So that is the Twinkling H2os, and I love them. I'm just going to black these. That's Pearlex. Black these colours back in. And I don't want to go too long on this video because I've got stuff to do. I've got journals to make and finish, and design team projects that are overdue because I just have too much going on at the moment. So yes, here's your H2os. Aren't they just beautiful? Okay, now I need a palette knife. I need a palette knife. I need a clean palette knife. Do I have one? Yes. Okay, so let's leave these to last because they are amazing. Let's do Pearlex versus Pearl. Need something similar. Okay, so this is Pearlex powdered pigment, and this is Perfect Pearls by Ranger powdered pigment. So this is the closest I can get to each other. Don't want that much. Alrighty. Can you tell I haven't opened this one? Don't use pink much either. Goodness me. Should have checked that first. These are basically the same beast in a different paddock base. So so we can just give them a squirt. Probably should have used the little squirter, but I don't have it here. Alrighty. So it's just a powdered pigment with mica or pearl type thing in them. Not a huge fan, but where's my piece of black? When you just rub it on, you get a whole different ball game. So I have black cardstock I put through the Sizzix with an embossing folder and emboss. Do you think I can find You think I can find it? I had one out before to show you, and I'll probably put it away with all my no, put it away in a safe place. Anyway, you get what I mean. Rub it on the high spots on your piece of embossing. And you get this. You can set this with a fixative, but you have to very, very lightly spray it from a distance, or spray it and waft the paper through, and you can get that to set on your paper. The only other way to get it to set is with water, as using it as a pigment, a paint pigment. Okay, so that's Pearlex and Perfect Pearls. Same cow, different paddock. Now this stuff needs its own piece of paper. Now when I had my shop and this company had just started making these colour shimmer dust, they sent me a whole heap with an order. I ordered the whole display and all the colours, but the candy and the lush came to me and somebody at the factory had swapped the labels over. So I had 20 of each of these that I had to swap the labels over, and I'd taken the lid off to make sure that I had the right colour, and I sneezed. And I sneezed big, and I exploded the red candy shimmer dust into my face, into my hair, my eyes, up my nose, all over my clothes, all over my laptop keyboard. It went everywhere, and I think for a week, every time I blew my nose it was red, every time I sneezed it was red, every time I typed my fingers looked like they were bleeding. This stuff goes forever, so don't sneeze, she says as she tentatively opens the lid. Dun, da, da, da. So this is the red, and I wish I could find my little spray bottle, because this one's just too powerful. But anyway, look at this. Look at this magic. I don't want to put a brush near this because it just keeps giving. Lucky there was water down, paper down there. So yeah, this is pretty stuff. Now the green has other colours in it for some reason. I don't know why, but just that tiny little amount. Gives you this amazing explosive metallic colour. Look at that stuff. Don't do what I just did and opened it upside down. Lucky that was off camera because that was just dumb. So this one's called Sunflower and it has a bit of orange in it. It has orange and yellow in it. So these colours are just amazing and well worth finding a stockist for them. This one is the Velvet. Stuff is going to be everywhere. Make sure you get a catch cloth down because look, get it on your fingers and it just keeps going. This is the blue, but I've got powder everywhere, but I just keep adding to this. Anyway, you see the point. It has a little bit of mica in it. You can add powders together. So I can drop a bit of orange in there. And when you spread it out, you'll get a different colour. So when I'm making the leaves, I can do that with these colours. I will just tiny little bit all over the page, spray some water first, sprinkle some powder, spray some more water, and just blend it all until I get the whole lot covered, and then I die cut the leaves out of it, or flowers, or whatever you're going to use. And when you die cut them, you get this sort of thing with all the different coloured flowers, leaves. Here they are here, in the different colours, which gives you a really cool effect. The dye is a Tim Holtz tattered leaf dye. Okay, I've done making a mess now. So we've got our Lumieres, our interference colours, which are best off on their own on over the top of a colour rather than mixed with a colour. And they come in all sorts of glorious colours. We've got our Twinkling H2os, which are the most magnificent watercolor paints that I love. And the same thing on the whites. And all the other bits, the Perfect Pearls, the 2 ways, so used as a pigment and then rubbed on dry. And to set that, you just give it a spray into the air and waft the paper through it, and it will eventually dry and not get all the watermarks in it. Alrighty, I think that's about it. Any questions, want me to test anything else, just let me know and I will try and remember to put the camera on. Thanks guys.